Hello everyone, my name is Webweaver and welcome back to the video game that's on your screen right now. We are just hanging out, we're just vibing. It's Scars, character exclusive perk cards only. Okay. Toshiaki moment? Okay. Alright. I was thinking about I wanted to do that one challenge mode again where Toshiaki has the cookbook, because I think that's really funny and we only did it once, but... maybe if we die really early, I'll remember that should be our second run, but, charisma, knowledge, strength, and then your seconds with a little fight as a treat. Everything but, dexterity. Which, I mean... it's gonna be hard, because Toshiaki's stats are, they're bad. I don't know if you noticed, but he is bad stats, man. But, because of the new prepare feature, new quote-unquote... why did I put that in quotes? Like, it is in the latest update, right? So, you know, it's not that, it's not that new, because the update's been out for a while, but you get what I mean. He got a lot stronger. And honestly, I didn't want to do a character tier list, because back then we were thinking, okay, the update's gonna take like a couple of weeks, and then we're gonna get the next update. But, because like when the game is getting updated frequently, you know, there's no point in doing a tier list, because, well, the meta's changing. And we are gonna get a new dexterity weapon, which, I mean, who knows how difficult that will be, and you'll never see it, and you'll only get it like once every like 20 runs or whatever, but I don't know. I wanted to wait, you know, see just a little bit if the meta would change. But I'm thinking that, like, my conspiracy theory is that the game's next update is gonna be 1.0, and it's gonna be, like, probably, like, a few weeks or, like, a month before the Switch version. And what I mean by that, okay, we're getting into the headcanon here, is I feel like the final update is gonna come out, like, maybe a month or, like, 3 weeks before 1.0, before the Switch version is supposed to be released. And then that next update is basically going to be 1.0, but it's gonna be, like, the beta of 1.0, where it's like, hey, we're gonna test it for, like, a month, and then I'm gonna fix the bugs, and then it's gonna come out on Switch. And then it will, like, officially release or whatever. Or the next update could just be 1.0. But I don't think we're getting another update that's gonna be, like, 0.9.9, E? I don't know. We've been through A, we've been through B, we've been through C, we've been through D. Are we gonna get a 9.9E? And that's just gonna be, like... I can't imagine a lot of content is gonna come for, the final update, which might, you know... some people who are watching this might be like, you don't think a lot of content's gonna come? That's pretty fucked up. There's barely anything here where we're picking the scraps off the bones here. But you have to realize this is a almost 1,000-part series that has been going on daily. It doesn't matter what game it is. If you played 30 minutes of it every day for almost 3 years, you know, like, you're gonna see a lot of the content that you would see normally, and so it's not a very fair lens to look at it from, like, the perspective of me. I'm gonna do it like this. This is a little bit weird. You're thinking, what is he cooking? What am I cooking? I'm not entirely sure. But we're going in, and we're doing it big. Hold a moment. Herald moment? I think with Scars, we're probably gonna want to fight. But, like, the Ritual Dagger has such bad accuracy, but that's okay. Oh, yeah, no, give me a book. Give me a book. Give me a book. Like a book, some literature to read. Some literature to read. I'll go up to, like, 15%, I don't really care. Some literature to read, like a book, like a tome even, yes! How about a little more? Okay, no, I was getting greedy. That was getting greedy. That's okay. But yeah, 20% attack speed's pretty dope. I'm pretty happy with that. I will search the body. How could you tell? But yeah, like, I don't think you could play any game. Well, I mean, there are some games, but like, I don't think you could play like a. I think for something that I started on a whim almost 3 years ago, because the playthrough started next month. So like, yeah, it would have been in like March, right? So something that I started in March, like 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago. I don't think we can be like upset about the fact that like there's not really a lot of stuff, because again, we've been covering this fucking game every day since then. So you're not gonna get me thinking like, told him you were living? Yeah, whatever. You're not gonna get me looking at it and being like, well, it's just one stamina, so there's no real point, right? We just keep doing this until he's dead. That's probably fair. I lost my train of thought. But basically, you can't... What I'm trying to get at here is that it's not realistic or fair to say, like, okay, this is a game... Like, you can't judge the game's content based on this series. I think that's completely fair to say, because, again, we've done everything. Like, I was talking with a friend last night, and he was joking, like, you know, how many times, like, after 1,000 episodes, you'll have finally played all the content in the game. And then I joked, like, oh, I have played all the content in the game hundreds of times over by, like, episode 200. You know, like, we've seen it all multiple times again and again. But you're not intended to play the game this way, you know what I mean? Like, you're not intended to do it like this. Nobody in their right mind would play a video game in the same, well, not in the same way, but like, very few people, and I know I just called myself crazy, or at least insinuated it, but like, very few people, which is rude and I shouldn't do that to myself, but very few people are gonna like, look at a indie game made by one guy and be like, yeah, I'm gonna sink like almost 700 hours into this game. And I've said that time and time again that... Oh fuck, what was our second enemy? Was that the class of, the Bite of 87? The class of 71? Yeah. Class of 71. Gotta remember that. But like, do you get what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? Blood Moon moment? Oh shit. Can't wait for, all the enemies to... I mean, we're prepping anyways, so it doesn't really matter, but... Like... As a developer, you don't intend for somebody to play your game for 700 hours. Like, that's not realistic. That's not realistic, you can't aim for that goal, and the people who do aim for that goal are people who are, like, making a game like Noita or Risk of Rain 2, where it's like, there's so much insanity in those games that can keep people coming back for more. But like, if you're making a more narrative-driven game, you expect people to play it, and I would say that it's reasonable to expect the player to do achievement hunting, because the game unlocks more content as you achievement hunt, and the achievements are very easy to get, and only one achievement is difficulty locked, right? So I would say that you can expect the player to do all of the mysteries at least once and go for some achievements to unlock new stuff. I would say that's probably pretty reasonable as like a developer hoping for people to play your game. And for the people who want to 100% it, you have all the endings, the secret endings, the Easter egg ending, you know, like the is it Silent Hill? Like Silent Hill dog ending where it's like, it was the Sheba all along. But, you know, give them a Sheba ending, give them multiple Sheba endings even. Give them some secret endings, give them some secret bad endings. You know, stuff for people to explore around with and just kind of have a good time, you know, maybe get like 20, 30 hours out of it. But at the end of the day, what you're probably expecting for an experience like this is probably about 8 hours, 8 to 16 hours, somewhere in there. And you're content with that, you're fine with that, because that's sort of what you're designing as a game. And then you have, like, people who are fucking crazy, who want more of your game, and they're, like, more, like, not more into it than you are, because obviously you're the one making the passion project here, but, like, there are people who are playing your game way past the shelf life of what you as the designer intended, if that makes sense. Like, you can never plan for some random fucking idiot on YouTube to do 1,000 episodes of your game every day. Well, not 1,000 episodes every day, but like 1,000 episodes in total, one every day, and then sometimes a live stream multiple hours. Like, you can't expect that, you can't plan around that, you can't design around that. There's nothing that you can do about that. And so it's not fair for somebody like me to come in and say, like, oh, hey, the game should have more content. Because the only reason I think that is that I did not play the game how, like, someone normally would, which is get in, get your experience, and then maybe revisit it every Halloween as a treat, you know? But, like, this is not a daily driver game, this is not a live service game, this is not a game made by a huge team. This is just, like, it's a single guy working on a game that he wanted to make. And, yeah, like, you can't, like, it's completely unreasonable for, again, like, for someone like me, it is completely unreasonable for me to say, like, hey, more content, Lamau. Like, that's just not reasonable. But somebody who, like, bought the game and played it for, like, 4 hours and is like, alright, I'll come back to it once it's updated, and then, like, 8 months later, they're like, hey, why hasn't the game been updated yet? Totally fair. And you could probably put that at, like, people who have even 100%ed the game. But if you've 100%ed the game multiple times, if you've done all the challenges on the hardest difficulty for fun, like, and you put hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours into the game, and then you go on the Discord and you're like, yeah, your game sucks, it has no content. It's like, come on, man. That's not reasonable. And the thing is, people will be like, okay, you're making up straw men, like, you're making up a guy and getting mad at it, but I'm not. Like, I've seen it on the official Discord. Is like, people will be like, hey, where's the update? The game has no content. And then Panstash will come in and say, how many hours do you have in the game? And they'll be like, I have 200, or I have 300. And it's like, that's not reasonable. Like, that's not, like, I hope that, you know, that makes sense. Like, we've been Panstash disrespectors several times, but, like, as far as content goes, and basically what I'm saying is that my perspective on when the game comes out is that there's not going to be a lot of content, right? Like, there's not going to be a lot of new content from what we have right now. It'll just be sort of like tying things together a little bit more. And I think that's completely fine. I actually think it's completely fine. Better speed, better hit chance, lower damage? Nah. Our hit chance is already in the garbage. But, like, I think it'll just be, like, maybe, like, another mystery, and then some new enemies, and then, like, maybe a new character, and that might be it. It might even be less than that. But the thing is, if the game comes out in that state, where, like, we get a small update and some bug fixes, like, you've already got more than enough stuff here to justify buying the game, okay? Like, I'm just being, you know, I'm just being true and real. You can't expect that much. And the thing is, I think the thing that you could realistically expect, and that you would want, and that you would actively hope for, is the modding floodgates being opened again. Because, you know, we've had this conversation on stream before with some hackers in the community, but it used to be sort of like the floodgates were opened, and so you could do, like, whatever you wanted to for the game, and you could, like, modify it, right? But with kind of how it's working now, you can't do that anymore. No, I'm not gonna risk it. Just do 10. Just kill him. But you can't do that anymore, right? So it's kind of like the game, like, because here's the thing: if you're super into this game, right, where you want more content than the developer could ever put out as, like, you know, content, like, more content than the developer could ever do in his lifetime, then you would want mods, right? Like, you'd want community mods, you'd want, like, community balance changes, all that stuff, and those things used to be possible, and people were doing them. It was kind of behind the scenes because you weren't supposed to do that, and so the mods and the dev cracked down on it. But allegedly, once the game reaches 1.0, the modding floodgates will be opened again, and then that's when you'd be able to, like, go crazy with it, right? Hit the gritty, that sort of thing. Gonna hit the gritty for the UK. I don't know what it is about that video, but I fucking love that video. I'm hitting the gritty for the UK. And then asking you to subscribe. It's so good. It's such a good video. It's good content. Nope. I'll just do this and that for fun. Why not? Maybe I should have re-rolled for different perks. That probably would have been an appropriate thing to do. I just re-roll for perks. But, yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this. I guess just, like... I think that when the new update comes out, and it doesn't have, like, a lot of stuff, as long as we get, like, modding capabilities back, I feel like you can't really expect anything more, right? Like, just a little bit of new content, some bug fixes, and then you're good to go. Some like, I think most of the typos have been fixed, but, like, some of the, like, text things being weird. Like, some out-of-bounds text issues or whatever. Making ally effects work again, you know, that sort of thing. Just, like, polishing up the game, adding a little bit more content, and then just kind of, like, being done with it. Yeah, that would be fine. Like, like, again, from, like, a principle perspective, am going to try my best not to be upset if, like, the 1.0 update is underwhelming. Because, again, it's like, I have played this game, this is, like, my 3rd or 4th most played game of all time. Like, I can't check how many hours I put into games on the Xbox 360, but I would say that probably Mass Effect 2 and Dragon Age Origins have more playtime than World of Horror. But on Steam, I think this is my most played game now, right? What have I played more? Let me see. Yeah, no, it's my most played game. It exceeded Dota 2, like, by 30 hours. And it's exceeded Team Fortress 2 by 100 hours. And Warframe by 162 hours? Something like that. So it's like... You know, I've definitely played... Oh, Dark Souls 1 on the PS3, definitely. Like, I've played Dark Souls 1 on the PS3, I've played, like, a ridiculous amount of time. So, it's probably not my most played game of all time. Or, like, well, it's definitely not my most played game of all time. My most played game of all time is definitely Final Fantasy XIV at this point. But, it's like my 4th or 5th most played game of all time. Like, I can't fucking complain about that. Like, even if the 1.0 update's mediocre or underwhelming or whatever, it doesn't matter. I've gotten my money's worth, like, 80 times over by now. Probably more than that. I don't know what the value to... like, the enjoyment to cost ratio 80 times of 600... Like, 80 times over would be. It's a subjective thing. It's entirely subjective when you feel like you've gotten your money's worth. But I definitely feel like I've gotten my money's worth. At least 80 times over by now. And it's a miracle that I've stayed with this game for as long as I have. It's fun. Like, sometimes I'm like, oh god, I don't want to do the World of Horror episode. And then I start playing, and it's like, yo, World of Horror kinda hit different. Sometimes the runs are interesting, too. But it's just, it's a weird game, because it's like, it's not a game that I have to, like, be, like, sweaty in, if that makes sense. Because there's not really any... Okay, this is gonna sound really bad. But there's not really, like, game? If that makes sense? Like, what am I doing here? I'm moving the mouse and clicking. There's one aspect of, like, mouse movement skill in this game if you aren't speedrunning. And that's the ability to continue interacting in the boss arena while your turn is taking and you're dealing damage to the boss. Like, you miscalculated how much damage you do, you thought you had a bonus, but you don't, or you thought the enemy was weak, or you don't, and the enemy's like 2 health away, you can go into your inventory and then throw the item before the enemy has a chance to attack you. Like, or you could go into your spells and then cast a spell really quick or something. Like, those things are incredibly niche, but you don't even need them at the highest level of play, right? Like, there's very little that you need to do. Like, that's just like an on-site reaction thing, or you could go into like your inventory and then throw something, but like, mid-attack or whatever. But it's like, there's very little like game skill that you require to play this game. It's just, can you move a mouse and can you remember what the things do? And if the answer to that is yes, you can, then you can very easily have a good time playing this game. It's creepy, it's gross, it's got a lot of disturbing stuff. This is Sailors, isn't it? Yeah, it is. We gotta discard items. What the hell? I mean, Ritual Mask is one of them, for real. Sewing Kit could have been the second one, but we'll see what we got. I can just get some random shit from somewhere. It's fine. But yeah, it's like, there's a... It's very weird, but the game is oddly relaxing. Because it's like, if I'm playing Final Fantasy XIV, there are relaxing things that I can do in Final Fantasy XIV, but then I'm just constantly thinking about, oh, I could be doing it more efficiently, or oh, I could be doing something better for my progression, right? Like, it's hard to turn your brain off when you're playing Final Fantasy XIV, if that makes sense, because because it's a MMO world where there's like 8 million things that you have to do. And so because of that, because there's 8 million different things you have to do, you're constantly thinking about how you could be doing it better and how you could be working on it more effectively. And it's like, well, I could be doing this, or I could be not doing this. And it's like, okay, I feel like I want to take a point of strength just so that I don't like fucking instantly die if we get whisked away. Just give me like a random item. Can you discard this? I don't think you can you? Okay, you can. I was a little bit scared for a second. Because, like, sometimes there are, like, weird items that you can't discard, like the Billy Maze's OxyClean branded Funko Pop, Nendoroid, whatever you want to call it. But, what was I gonna say? I don't know. It's it's interesting. Like, the game is oddly relaxing, even on the hardest difficulty. Like, there's no... Like, it's very weird, because, you know, I've been playing, like, horror games on hard mode with high stakes, like Signalis and Termina, right? And World of Horror. Although, I mean, look at Toshiaki. Is this the guy who lives in a horror game? No. He's just a little guy. He's just a little guy stumbling around town. But, he's just a little guy. Look at his eyes. He's not a dangerous horror protagonist. Ignore the portrait down here. But, like, I don't know, like... And maybe this is super disrespectful to Panstash, but, like, World of Horror is just cozy. Like, it is. Like, maybe that's just because I played it for almost 700 hours, but... It really is just like, this is a vibe, come on, like... Like, it's just a vibe. Like, I don't know how to describe it other than it's a vibe, and I'm chilled. In my natural environment, just hanging out. And, like, something like Signalis is annoying, because I'm just running into rooms, seeing if there's something interesting, and then loading a save, so that I didn't waste resources on the useless room, or the currently useless room. And then Termina is, like, such a different thing, because it's so esoteric, and trying anything is most likely going to get you killed, but sometimes getting killed leads to a different area, and you didn't actually die. Albez texted me 6 months later, after she lost to an enemy, saying, I live, bitch. But, like, you usually see something fucking cursed, but, it's such a weird thing. It is such a weird thing. It is such a look who it is. Wordless Ward? What the fuck? Painting? Oh god. Do we have roads closed? Yeah, we do. Alright, whatever. We're going in. It doesn't matter. We're playing Toshiaki. As long as we live this, it doesn't matter. We could get hunger at any time and it just fucking kills us. Because hunger does stack, right? Oh, hey, look! It's look who is speaking of! He's here! Okay, do remember that he takes bonus to sharp. I do remember this, so... I mean, it's not like anything is going to change. We're still going to do this every single time. This is such a weird fucking run. I have done literally the exact same combat maneuver for every single enemy in the game because we are stacking so much. We are stacking so much, like, minus damage from Kana and old scars that it's just like, who cares? Hello? Just FNAF, hello? Yeah, just prepare yourself. It doesn't matter. We're playing Toshiaki. Doom doesn't matter. That's a joke, by the way. We just got lucky, but, like... I don't know, like, it's just a vibe. Like, I'm just hanging out. I'm just having a good time. I'm not, in any stress or danger. I'm not worried about, like, being super optimal because the game is easy. No offense! Please don't instantly... Oh, wait, no, he took a point of strength. Holy shit! I actually don't care about Doom here. If we can... There's a 5% Doom option here, isn't it? Boreal Expanse. Check the Icy Coast. That's the one that we want to do? Yeah, okay. But, like, what was I gonna say? I don't remember. Just don't instantly kill me. That's the thing about being Toshiaki, is that you can just instantly get killed for fun. Like, the game is easy as Toshiaki, but you can just instantly get killed for fun, so... I don't want to fight the boss. Get me out of here. But, like, what was I saying? I don't know. Oh, yeah, no, World of Horror is chill. It's relaxing. I can play the hardest difficulty, and I don't really have to care. Like, do you think I'm paying attention to anything that's fucking happening right now? No. Now, part of that is due to having, you know, played this game a lot, so it's like, I kind of know what's going on, but still, it's like, I'm just hanging out. I'm just having a good time. I'm not worried about any of this random shit that's happening. I'm just like, oh, that happened? Okay, we're at this health, who cares? Just go, go, go. And sometimes, the thing about World of Horror that makes it really special is that sometimes something fucking crazy does happen, right? Like, something absolutely batshit insane happens, and you're just like, you're left flabbergasted. Like, you're like, oh my god, that's insane. I can't believe that happened. That's one of the coolest things. And you have these, like, legendary runs that are just like, holy fucking shit, that's amazing, right? Like, the Human Spirit, Kairi run. That was fucking amazing. There have been some Miku and Mizuki runs where we've been on the edge of our seats, too. At least that I'm remembering off of the top of my head here. And it's just like, it's look who it is. And it's cool, right? Oh, Hospital's doomed, huh? Rest skip? Rest warp? Hospital skip? But yeah, like, I don't know how to put it. It's just like, like, there's points of World of Horror where I'm like, okay, I have to pay attention. And then, like, other points, I'm like, okay, I don't have to pay attention at all. Like, who cares? That was in case she healed, which she did. She did heal. It would be cool to be able to do 12 damage per turn instead of just 10, but whatever. We'll get there someday. Are we ever gonna get Sheep Surge? Probably not. I'm never casting Witness Curse. Actually, I might, which is really funny. I don't really want to do this. Let's look who it is. Yeah, it's look who it is. Let's look who it's not. But yeah, I don't know, like, Signalis has tension on the hard difficulty because I have to reload my save and it takes forever. And then Termina has tension also because of that. I have to load my save and it takes forever. But it also is just like a bunch of esoteric bullshit where it's like, oh, which way, how do you want to get into the town? Through the sewers, the gate, some other way, the forest, the underground base? You know, there's so much shit in Termina that it's like there's so many routes you can go. There's so much, like, player freedom in how you tackle the horrible monstrosities that try to, like, annihilate you, it's like, you really do have a lot of freedom that you wouldn't really think you do. Like, you wouldn't really feel like you have as much freedom as you do in Termina. But that's what makes it special. That's what makes it cool. Is that you're in situations where you feel like, you know, okay, I'm gonna die, but oh my god, I'm gonna die. What the hell? Okay, hold on. That's my sound. My error sound. The bad sound. So minus 0, minus 3, 3, 3, 6, 3. Okay. I mean, why not? Might as well just max heal. We have the cure, which is so funny. So it's like, even if we didn't do this, we could still cast the cure. So if we die for some reason... Nothing personnel, kid. How's our accuracy? Terrible! The fuck? Can I do this? Prep, attack, prep? I can. Oh no, guys, he hit me for 1% doom. I'm so scared. Now this is just double garbled memories, right? I don't remember what I did this one. It doesn't matter. Like, it literally doesn't matter. We have the Thoth Flash too. I do remember Class of 71. Isn't that wacky? I remembered the enemy, but not the mystery. But like, you know, there are ways that games create tension, and I don't know. It's probably just how much I've played World of Horror, but there's no, like, it's very rare for a run to make me feel like, oh shit, it's going down. You know, like, it's very rare for there to be a run that's like, alright, we're doing it big. You know what I mean? Very rare. Very rare for me to feel like, oh shit, things are going down, you know? Anyways, I hope you're all staying safe out there. I hope you're all having a good one. I will see you on the next episode of World of Horror, or whatever you decide to watch next. I don't know why I say that, because I don't upload anything else, but I might in the future be uploading different things. Who knows? I feel like I say that like once every 100 episodes, and it never amounts to anything. So like, longtime viewers are just like, eye roll, but you know. Stay safe out there.